submit creditors. Today I want to show you a great example that I have learned recently, that I read a lot of task 1 line graphs and I wrote this one, and it's perfectly written, that I learned from IELTS Advantage, I learned from IELTS Leads, and prepared their samples, and I've made my sample as well. Like, it was perfectly written, that now I have written this on my notebook, and I'll read it for you. So as you can see, we have line graph sample band 9 here, and this is from one of the IELTS actual recently tests, and I want to write this one. So let's get started without further ado. The line graph illustrates how many tourists visited various areas. Let's say what the areas are: the coast, the mountain, the lake, and in one European country, over 3 decades, over 3 decades, from, let's mention, 1987 to 2007. Right, we have this one here. In our introduction is clearly written that it talks about the line graph illustrates how many tourists visited various areas: the coast, the mountain, the lakes, in one European country over 3 decades, from 1987 to 2007. So it's a 2 decades. Like, sorry about this. I have written here 3 decades. I should have written, sorry about this, 2 decades. 2 decades. Sorry. Yeah, I fixed it up, and now I'll start moving with the overall, where I'll give an overall view for this graph. So overall, now you can have a clear view. With here are the numbers of visitors. If you don't know any synonyms, it's better to repeat the word instead of making the mistakes. That's why I'm writing visitors and tourists, and not a lot of different words. So the number of visitors to the coast and the lakes experienced rapid changes. Well, as you can see, the coast and lakes experienced a rapid change here. So I mentioned this one. While the figure for the mountains grew gradually, with a fluctuation in the middle. So it wasn't tricky. I hope that you could understand everything, that it covers everything perfectly. Like, the number of visitors to coast and lakes experienced a rapid change, while the figure for mountains grew gradually with a fluctuation in the middle. So it fluctuated right here. So I just mentioned this one, and I hope I covered as much as I could. So now we move to body 1, where I'll talk about this 2 parts that I want. So with regards to the number of the tourists to the lake, the coast, sorry about this, coast began at 4,000. It began with 4,000 and then declined slightly by about 5,000, from 40,000 to 35,000. So I want to clearly mention this data as well here. Data between 1987 and 1992. So right here, thereafter the figure increased significantly over the next years, reaching at approximately 75,000 in 2007. All right, the figure for the lakes, quadruplet, and as you can see, that from 10,000 to 40,000. So over the next first decade? What was the next first decade? So I'll mention the decade as well. 1987. It's 1997 here. So it's done. And then there was a rapid increase of about 35,000 before before declining sharply to 50,000. All right. So this one is done already. As you can see that we have described this one clearly, and there's nothing to talk about now. So I'll move to another body where I'll talk about this figure for the mountains. So it's not really difficult. I mean, it's kind of straightforward actually. On the other hand, let's say on the other hand, the number of visitors to the mountains started at 20,000. So as you can see, this is number is in 20,000, and this figure rose by 10,000. From 20 to 30,000. As you can see, every time I'm trying to explain it to detail, like I'm giving extra ideas here over a decade before fluctuating before fluctuation, or we can say fluctuation before fluctuation. And so it rose to about, let's say 35,000 from 2002 to 2007. That's all we have to do, and we have to clearly describe this one, and we have written it perfectly in the way that it should be written, that we didn't miss any figures here, that we stopped and we talked about the most necessary parts, and there's nothing to add, there's nothing to cut as well, because here we have done what we were required to do. And if you have any questions, you can leave in the comments below. That I will have having some technical issues and preparing for some exams. That's why I wasn't very active recently. But I will try to be as active as possible. And please, if you have any questions, you can reach me out by via Instagram or via YouTube and the comment section below. And I really love your support. We are about to reach 5,000 subscribers. That's going to be awesome, I believe. And recently I have a great news to share. And stay tuned, please. And thanks so much for watching. As always, we finish. You know how we finish. Don't tell me you don't know that if you have our dear subscribers. So welcome to Kish IELTS family if you have joined us recently. And yeah, thank you. See you next time. Bye. I'll try to be active, by the way. See you.